Hi and welcome to your practice. This is a pre and postnatal practice. We are focusing on improving the posture in this class, so we are opening up the front body and strengthening the back body. This class is fully seated and kneeling. All I will recommend is a couple of blocks if you normally practice with blocks. We're going to stay seated for a while, so I have put my hips on a block here, so my sit bones are a little bit higher than my knees, so I can relax in my hip flexors. So you find a seat that works for you, and then when you are ready, just rest the hands anywhere in your lap or on your knees, and then close the eyes. Let's start by deepening the breath, so just tuning inwards before we start moving the body. Just noticing how automatically when we bring our attention to the breath, we start breathing deeper without necessarily changing anything consciously. And there is this immediate release happening in the body. If your shoulders were tight and rising up to the ears, you can feel them sort of dropping down a little bit. If you're gripping in your hip flexors, you can soften the hip flexors and let the knees rest on the floor. And just become aware of, as we're seated here, how your posture is. Notice if the shoulders are rolling slightly forward, or the chin is tipping slightly forwards as well. Maybe you're arching the back. So we're gonna try to correct all of these normal things that happens in our posture throughout the day. So I want you to start by finding your sit bones down onto the ground, whatever you're seated on. And then move up the spine up towards the mid-back or lower back, and then gently just draw the belly button in, so it's not a super forced engagement, it's just a slight activation. And then move up to the mid-back where the ribs are sitting, and then see if you can close the ribs in slightly so they're not splaying outwards into an arch in your spine. Keep moving up to the upper back between the shoulder blades and see if you can find some length there first of all. Draw the shoulder blades slightly together to open up in the chest, and then notice how the shoulders can come down a little bit further away from the ears as you do so. Then move up the spine to the top of the neck where it touches to the skull. And notice the chin here, so the chin might have come forward a little bit. You want to pull the chin back slightly, sort of like you want to create a little bit of a double chin here to lengthen the back of the neck. And then moving all the way up to the crown of the head, and imagine that the crown of the head is growing to the ceiling. And just notice this very active posture that you've put your body in. It shouldn't feel strained or super tiring, but it should feel active and elongating. So you're using your muscles very gently to create space through the torso by lengthening and putting things back into place. And just take 2 more breaths here. And then you can open the eyes gently. We're going to tilt the right ear to the right shoulder for a neck stretch. You might want to, if you can reach the floor, walk the left fingertips away from you, or just reach that hand away to create a little bit more distance between the ear and the shoulder. Keep that left shoulder down the back, away from the ear. And then keep the head to the right. Just turn the chin down towards your shoulder so that the back of the neck is now receiving the stretch. And then keeping, again, the head to the right, but drop the chin to the chest here. Finding the stretch all the way at the back of the neck. And then release the chin to the middle of the chest and then roll up through center. Going to the other side, tilt the left ear to the left shoulder. Maybe you want to walk the hand to the side or just reach it out to the side. Let the side of your neck get a stretch. Maybe you want to close the eyes again. And then keeping the head to the left, just turn the chin towards your shoulder. So if your eyes are open, you're now just looking straight down at your knee if you're cross-legged. And then dropping the chin to the chest, keeping the head towards the left still. And then release that, let the chin roll to the center and roll up to a tall spine. Let's take a deep breath in, reach the arms overhead. And bring them to heart center here. We're gonna open the arms out, so palms to face the sky. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and then lift your chest up and feel that the back body is working and the front body is opening. And then we're gonna close the right arm over the left. Curve the spine, give yourself a hug and see if you can touch the fingertips to the insides of your shoulder blades. Drop the chin. Open again, palms to face up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the chest. And the left arm comes over this time, give yourself a hug, curve the spine. So draw the belly button in towards the spine. And again, breath in to open. Breath out to hug yourself, curve and drop the chest. Drop the chin. And inhale up. Exhale, give yourself a hug. And we're going to finish this with the open position. Squeeze the shoulder blades. This time drop the arms down behind you, clasp the hands, and then pull on your hands to lift the chest even more. Maybe you can reach the hands away from your lower back here for a chest opener. Lifting those hands away from your seat. 2 more deep breaths. And release. Let's come down to hands and knees. So just move your block to the side if you had it with you. We are going to most likely need it in a minute. Coming into your tabletop position, place the hands right underneath the shoulders, the knees right underneath the hips, and we're going to do a posture check here. So I want you to relax everything, so just drop the belly down, drop the chest to the floor so your shoulder blades are together, and then drop the chin down to the floor as well. We're going to activate this from the ground up. So start with your belly button, draw it in, pick it up so that you can come to a neutral spine and close the ribs together. Give the floor a push with your hands. Make sure you're not sinking in between the shoulder blades. So there's an activation happening in your hands and the chest is slightly lifted. And now let's pull the chin back, lengthen the back of the neck, but keep looking down at the floor. So we're in one straight line now. The front body is quite activated here. The belly is lifting, The chest is active as we're pushing the hands into the floor, and then we are drawing the chin back. So keep all of that engagement as we now are going to work into our back body. Stretch your left leg long behind you, and then stretch your right arm in front of you. So the hand is to the side as if you're shaking hands with someone. The left leg can stay on the floor, or maybe start to lift it off to hover it in a straight line with the rest of your body here. Don't forget to lift that belly button up and in. Create some length on the diagonal, so the heel to the back and the fingertips to the front. Get as long as you can, as if there's a tug of war between those 2 points of your body. Take a few breaths here. Keep lifting that arm. Can you align the upper arm with your ear? And notice how your glute is also switched on to lift that back leg, so it's not all in the lower back. Take your last inhale. To the best of your ability, bring your knee and your elbow together under your body, curve the spine. You might be able to touch the knee and the elbow, or maybe the knee comes to your left elbow and the right elbow in towards your hip crease. So we're on the train track here with our alignment of the hand and the leg. And then stretch it back out. Bring it in. Curve the spine. Stretch it out. 2 more. Bring it in, exhale. Stretch it out, inhale. And in. Stretch it out. Take a breath. And then place everything to the floor. We're going to go straight to the other side. Right leg stretches and left arm reaches forward. Maybe pick up that right leg as you draw the belly button up and in as well, and find that nice long diagonal line here. Breathe. The shoulder is working to pull the arm up as close to the ear as you can, and the glute is working to lift the leg about parallel to the floor. 1 more inhale for length. Knee to elbow, either across the body where the left elbow and the right knee touches, or bring the right knee to the right elbow and the left elbow into your left hip crease. And then stretch it out. Breathe in. Coming back in. And stretch. And curve. 2 more, breath in to reach, breath out to curve, and reach, and curve. Reaching out to finish off, place everything down on the floor, moving through some cat-cow, so arch the spine with your inhale, look forwards. Push the floor away to curve as you exhale. Inhale, arch, and exhale to curve. You can add some circles into the ribs here as well if you want to go sideways and around. And then do the other side. Breathing in to go to the left and down, and exhale to the right and up. 2 more times, your variation of this movement. And come to a neutral spine, tuck the toes under, push yourself back into a downward facing dog. Walk the feet out here. Bending one knee and the other knee, lifting up one heel at a time. Then drop the heels down, find some stillness, send the sit bones up, push the hands into the mat and forward to bring the chest slightly closer to the thighs. You might need a bend in the knees here, that's totally fine. And we're just going to ripple our way forward to put the knees back on the floor. And then step the right leg to the front of the mat. Drop the hips down, one hand on each side. This is where your blocks might come in handy. We're gonna reach the arms up for a low lunge, find a hip flexor stretch. We're gonna grab an invisible pull down bar here. And as we pull the arms down, we don't want to just let gravity do the work for us. We want to engage the whole back body. So pull the elbows down, feel the back working, lift the chest and see if you can bring the elbows as close to the waist as possible. Squeeze them in, shoulder blades together, and then release. Again, pulling down. Lift the chest if that feels okay. If not, just stay in a neutral spine and then lift again. 2 more. Lift, lift, lift. Squeeze the elbows into your waist and release. Last one. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Elbows in and release. This time, stretch the arms full circle. Clasp behind you again. Lift the chest. Reach the hands down towards the back knee and breathe here for a moment. And release. Hands to the floor. Start to shift the hips back for a half Hanuman. This is where your blocks might come in handy. If the floor feels really far away, grab your blocks and support your hands on blocks. And we want to find a long spine so we're not curving too much here. Send the sit bones back, crown of the head forwards, and have an open, spacious chest. Maybe close the eyes and just find your breath here for a moment. And take your last 2 breaths here. Rebend that front knee. We're going to do a little flow here in between these 2 postures just to create some stability in the legs. So as you breathe in, reach the arms up and overhead. And with the exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Start to stretch your front leg at the same time. Find that balance. Hands to the floor or to your blocks. And come forward again. Breath in, arms up. Maybe a lift in the chest. Hug the inner thighs together to help your stability here as you move through this little sequence. Maybe the hands comes down. Maybe this time they just hover and stretches back up for the last round. And coming back, stretch your front leg. Good, now just rebend your front leg. You can bring your hands to the inside of that foot to step back into your downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here to reset. And then come forward to drop the knees down on the floor. Step your left leg to the front of the mat. Drop the hips down as much as feels comfortable for you. And then arms up. Finding this hip flexor stretch for a moment. And then turn the palms to face the front. Grab that invisible pull down bar. Clasp the hands as you really feel the resistance when you pull the elbows down towards the waist. Maybe you lift the chest. Maybe you stay neutral in your spine. And then come back up. And pulling down. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Shoulder blades, elbows. Use the lats. And come up. 2 more times. Down. Inhale to come up. Exhale down. Inhale coming up. And this time straight elbows as you reach around, clasp behind your back. Maybe the weird way this time. Roll the shoulders back and down and find a lift in the chest. Couple of breaths here. And release. Find your half Hanuman, shift the hips back, stretch your front leg, maybe your blocks again. If the floor moves away from you whenever you come into these forward folds. And then let's lengthen the spine. So we're not dropping forwards into a curve and letting the shoulders hang. We are working with a posture here as well. So shoulders back and down. Crown of the head on the diagonal, keeping the ribs closed, the chest open, and the chin slightly drawn back. Then find your breath in the back of that front leg. Take your last breath here. And release, bend your front leg. Let's flow through these transitions a couple times. Arms up, breath in. Open the hands, squeeze the shoulder blades as you stretch the front leg. Find the surface you are seeking. And then we go again, bending, reaching up. Keep hugging those inner thighs together. It's going to help your stability as we move through here. The hands can come down, or maybe they just hover off the floor as you move forward again. Last time to lift and open. Open slowly to bring the hands down. Bend the front leg. Maybe hands to the inside. Stepping back to your downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths here. And then we're going to move the feet out wide, so to the edges of the mat. Maybe the toes comes off as we turn the heels in. Walk back into your Malasana squat. Drop the hips, hands at heart center. If you have blocks and this does not feel comfortable, the blocks can be supported or supporting your hips underneath. That is also a very nice opening for the hips. From here, bring the right fingertips to the floor and slide the shoulders down towards the knee. Open up the left arm. Have a couple breaths here. Again, hugging those shoulder blades together. And then coming back, go the other way. Left fingertips down, open up the right one. And coming down, hands to the floor, drop the knees. The last little stretch we're going to do here is Anahatasana. So keep the hips over the knees, start to walk the hands forward, and then drop the forehead down towards the floor. Shift the belly towards the thighs. If you got quite open shoulders here and this feels okay, you can put the chin down instead so that you can look forwards. Few deep breaths here. And then push the hands into the floor. Make your way up onto hands and knees. Bring the knees under you and just sit down on the heels, shoulders back and down. Find that alignment that we worked on at the beginning. Reaching the crown of the head up and just finding that length throughout the torso. Notice just how your body is active now in the places that it wants to be active, and open in the places that we want to be open. And then take your last full breath in and out. And you can bring the hands to heart center as a symbol of gratitude to ourselves and to the practice and to each other. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.